Well, how do you explain an increase in the homeless population? I mean, the city was evacuated, so I'm assuming that, I mean, if we got everyone out, then, we all had to come back, and then something has to be causing people to be homeless at a greater rate than before. I mean, how do you explain that?
Well, you know that a lot of the housing stock was destroyed in the greater New Orleans area. That's number one. Then there were homeowners who just couldn't afford to repair their homes or couldn't get qualified for the funds. For a while, we had a separate unit at Southeast Louisiana Legal Services just helping people navigate through the Road Home program so that they could get the funds to repair their homes. But because a lot of the housing stock that was destroyed was also rental properties, and
so a lot of people, maybe the landlord had a affordable kind of rental, maybe rundown but affordable place to stay, and a lot of that was wiped out and just not fixed up by the owners.
Yeah, and because of the high cost of insurance for homeowners, landlords, for instance, they've had to hike their rents, so that rents are way above what they were pre-Katrina. So the average low-income person, even if they're working, just can't afford to pay the rent now.
Okay, and now I have seen that, and that's a negative development if you're looking for housing and you don't have a lot of money. Now, on the other side of it, I have seen some stuff about, I mean, you can just kind of drive through the streets and see where some of these old housing developments, they've kind of put in really nice looking housing there for people. Is that the housing stock for low income people the same as it was yet, greater or less than it was before Katrina?
I would say it's a lot less.
Okay.
I think a lot of the public housing stock that existed before Katrina has been converted to mixed income properties. I think those that you're seeing are now mixed income properties, so that some of the spaces are being reserved for former residents of the housing, but the public housing projects, but not all.
Okay, so when I'm going down Louisiana Avenue and I see a really nice looking development, and I'm thinking, that's really great. They've really done a lot to make New Orleans look better, and the people that have no money that stay in those houses seem like they're probably going to have a better life. It's also a fact, though, that, and I guess maybe to prevent from making hardcore sections of the city where no one's got any money, they're mixing the income. So we can't just replace then the housing projects with these mixed income, nice looking projects. We've got to have lots more housing if we're going to go that route, I guess.
Lots more affordable housing, or lots more support for low-income people to help them pay the rents in these new properties.
And I thought the Section 8 program did a lot of that.
That is where the support comes from. But in a recent open application period by the Housing Authority of New Orleans that runs the Section 8 program, they hadn't opened the application for about 7 years, I think, the wait list. And they opened it last August, and they got 28,000 applications for about roughly 4,000 or 5,000 vouchers. And they're just now starting to process those applications and those vouchers. But, it is a somewhat slow process, and the fact is the resources aren't there to meet all of the needs of all of the people.
Okay, well, we're just about out of time. Can I give your phone number to our listeners in case they, I know you got a lot of clients. This is Southeast Louisiana Services. Rita Perea and Jesse Lynn, they've got lots of homeless, broke clients, and they love them, and they love helping them out, and they're with the Homeless Advocacy Project, and so they are some mucho crazy lawyers, man. They're really helping folks that need help, and if you need to reach them because you're indigent and you need some legal services, you can call 504-529-1000. and it looks like it says extension 252. And I applaud you for the work that you're doing. I thank you very much for helping our homeless community. A lot of our listeners, are constantly bringing us up to date about developments in the community and how they're moving around and kind of getting, pushed around. And I'm glad that Unity and Southeast Louisiana Legal Services are taking some positive steps to make it a better New Orleans for all of our citizens. So I thank you for joining us.
I appreciate that, Russell. Thank you for having us.
Okay, and I guess that's really pretty much about it. This may be the first week in many months where I haven't run over my time. My producer's out there smiling. And this is Russell Stegeman with Carmen Afaro. We thank you for joining us for this hour. We'll be back next week with another installment of The Legal Show here on WBOK 1230 AM. So don't forget next Wednesday to join us at 2 o'clock. And in the meantime, everybody have a great end of your week and a great weekend, and we'll see you next week.